In this video, we look at getting started with Cloud Foundry. Cloud Foundry provides a platform as a service. You can go to cloudfoundry.com, click the Register button, enter an email address, agree to the terms of service, enter the CAPTCHA, and request an invite. Once you receive an invite, you'll be able to deploy an application to Cloud Foundry. We will demonstrate that with a very simple Sinatra application in Ruby. We'll start by installing the gems needed to run Sinatra. Once that's done, we'll create our file, env.rb, that contains a simple program. We'll save that file, and then in our local environment, just run it as a Ruby application. It will tell us that it's listening on port 4567. So we'll switch back to Internet Browser, and we see we have our hello. Of course, we're not really on the cloud yet. Now we're going to install the VMC, command line tools used to control Cloud Foundry from the client. This is a Ruby gem named VMC. When this is done installing, we'll target the cloudfoundry.com server. Then we'll log in using the credentials provided when we registered earlier. Once we've logged in, we can look at our local directory and see that we have a single Ruby file. We'll push this application to the server, giving it a unique name on the cloudfoundry.com servers. We're going to create two instances of this so that we can see that there are two of them running. VMC stages and starts the application. Once it's started, we can go to our web browser and enter the address for that website. You can see that it's on a public server, 172.30.50. If we refresh, instead of being at 50.25, it's at 50.8. And we can see that it can change so that we have two instances running on different hosts and ports. At this point, we can try a number of commands. VMC help gives us a list of the command line options. VMC user tells us who we're configured to be. Target tells us what server we're addressing. Info gives us information about the target and the client, how much services and applications are available. Runtimes and frameworks give us information about what is available on the server. Apps says that we have one application that's currently running. Instances tells us that we have two instances when they were started. We can also add two instances. That takes our total scaled application up to 4. And if we then look at the list of instances, we now have 0 through 3 currently running. We can refresh our web browser and see that 50.8, 50.25, 50.19, and 49.249 are all in use. Now we can go back, look at our list of apps. We see we have 4 running. We can reduce the number of instances down by 3, so that will bring our scaled number down to 1. We can look at stats. How long has this one been up? How busy is it? We can look at logs. We can look at the files that are on the server. This tells us that there's directories for both the app and for the logs. If we look at the app directory, we see we have only one file, the environment.rb, and in the log file we have standard error and standard out as logs. We can look and see if there's any environment variables. Doesn't have any for this application. We can then stop our application. It's stopped, but if we look at the list of applications, it's still listed as being available, installed, but not there. We can delete the application and then log out. This has demonstrated that we can upload a simple Ruby application to Cloud Foundry.